People are fleeing New York. Escape Manhattan. You're seeing it in real time all across the city. My name is Benny Johnson. This is Benny on the Block. I have been to New York dozens and dozens of times. Never in my life have I seen a city like this. Moving trucks everywhere. Everywhere you look. We're going to explore in this episode why are people fleeing New York City. Let's go. It's an honor to have John on our show. John, what is New York? What has happened to New York?
De Blasio, one word. He's got to be the worst leader, economic leader, mayor the city has ever seen. Honestly, he's destroying the city. There's garbage everywhere. There's homeless on the street. Everybody's moving out of the city. It's really terrible what he's done to the city.
It all started with the tragic coronavirus. It stopped the state of New York cold. Why? Why was the coronavirus so bad here? What you had was a nursing home policy in the state of New York. Governor Cuomo putting the most vulnerable population at risk. BLM riots caused the leftist leaders of New York to capitulate and kneel instantly. What they did was defund their police department.
I want people to understand that we are committed to shifting resources to ensure that the focus is on our young people.
Today in New York, Mayor Bill de Blasio announced a plan to defund the NYPD by shifting money in the city budget from policing to social services.
Not only that, but New York released dangerous prisoners from prison early because of the coronavirus. What has that led to? It led to more crime. It led to a lot more crime. 200% increase in shootings. 165% increase in murders. A 300% increase in burglaries and violent crimes. You're just getting started here. The police were defunded to the tune of $1 billion. Do you agree with that?
The police was defunded?
Yeah.
So no, I don't agree with that. Because they putting their life on the lines and stuff like that.
Well, anybody that cares for the citizens of this city or the inner city kids or anybody else wouldn't defund the police. Only an imbecile will do that because the safety of citizens out here, there's nothing that the mob could have did to this city that de Blasio hasn't done on his own.
Apartment for rent used to be one of the rarest signs you would see in Manhattan. Some of the highest occupancy rates in the world here on this island, but no longer. Vacancy rates in Manhattan have more than doubled, hitting record highs. Highest price apartments have dropped in value more than 10%, while vacancies in Manhattan have skyrocketed almost 100% more than they were this time last year. This is an example of the 1/3 small businesses that will never come back, according to statistics. It's also an example of what the American Business Exchange Council says is the worst economic outlook of any state. New York. On the street corners, all across the city, you see massive, massive piles of garbage. Why? The city has defunded their garbage waste because they do not have the means to pay for the $100 million budget that it would be to take away all of the garbage and properly fund sanitation. And so because of the domino effect of the economy collapsing and people leaving, here's what you get. Piles of garbage everywhere and the inability to pay for and pick it up. That is how people are living in New York.
There's something underlining this, what he's doing. This is done purposely. Nobody with any kind of education can do this. Can do this to a city this quickly, this fast, and with no regret. He's got no regret about what he's doing.
65% of the moves in the state of New York are outbound from the state. 95% of the moves in Manhattan are outbound. This altogether is how you get the deserted New York street, a phenomenon unthinkable. A New York where people are fleeing, in fact. Fleeing the leftist leaders who have crumbled their city's infrastructure, defunded their police, made their apartments less valuable, destroyed their businesses, and caused a health crisis for them. The future of New York looks grim. What's the future for the rest of America? Will it be socialism?
I'm Albanian, so I come from an Albanian culture where there was communism. I'd say to them they have no idea of socialism, communism, unless you're from a country my family comes from.
What are your final words about the state of New York right now?
It's very simple. I'm pro-police, I'm pro-vets, and I'm pro-America. This isn't America. I don't know what this is.
Will it all turn into New York? We'll find out, and we'll see you next week on Benny on the Block.